Alright y'all, what's up, what's good, and welcome to the channel. In today's episode, I'm going to do a review of a C8 Corvette, which I'm so stoked to do at the moment. But before we get started, you guys, like, share, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and set it to all so that way my channel can grow. So when the C8 was introduced in 2019, I remember thinking that this car was hideous. I thought it was the most trashiest body style that they can come up with. I felt like they were copying Ferrari. Like if you look at the 360 Medina or the F430, I felt like this was a retroed out body style. And I felt like that it just wasn't living up to the American standard of what a muscle car should look like. So I'm putting my individual biases aside to see what this car is really made of. Alright y'all, so with this particular model, it is a 2023 with the Z51 package and hardtop retractable roof. So that means with this package it has better brakes, dual mod exhaust, and better cooling. That means it's also track focused. So I have everything under my belt to get the best performance out of it. So the attention grabber for me was the car's interior. Anyone that's ever owned previous model Corvettes, we all know that the interior was pretty basic. It didn't really have any flair to it, nothing that shows sporty or anything like that. But with this particular model, like the intro that you saw with the dash, digital dash, the stitching on the seats, the color contrast in the cockpit, I think it was pretty dope. I think Chevy definitely stepped their game up in that aspect. Now with the upper middle console, they also added a cell phone charging station. I think that's dope. But what I dislike is the vertical panel on the right side of the cup holder. Those functions, I don't see why they couldn't just put that in the infotainment center, but you know, it's definitely something that you'll have to get used to while driving it. Another cool feature is the 3-camera setup for the splitter. We all know what it's like driving sports cars that are low and close to objects. You definitely want to make sure that you don't hit anything, so it's good to have those view angles to assure that you don't damage your car. Since the car is equipped with multifunctional drive modes, I wanted to test it out. So instead of going through all of them, I just went straight to Z mode. And let me tell you, pressing the Z mode button on the steering wheel opens the car up completely. You can hear the engine breathe. When you barely put your foot on the pedal, it immediately takes off. What is different for sure is the exhaust tone. It doesn't have that aggressive, beefy sound like you would hear in your C7s and C6s and whatnot. This particular model, it sounds more like the exotic cars, like the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, and things like that. Which I guess this is Chevy's aim, maybe to compete in that market. I'm not really sure. I'm not really gonna think too deep, but that's just my guess from the outside looking in. The tone is still aggressive. It's not overly loud. At cruising speed, you don't hear any drone. So I guess you could say that's a plus for Chevy. You can also feel the power that the engine is putting down, which is a little under 500 horses, 495 to be exact with the Z51 package. It also has 470 pound-feet of torque. So this performance package that this car has, everything about this car is what's definitely made me become a fan again. But again, definitely not the sound you would expect from a muscle car. So overall, I had a great experience driving the car. I think Chevy did a good job trying to produce this version of the Corvette. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit a track only because we didn't have one in close proximity. But if I were to rate the experience and the car, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think what makes the car so special is the performance overall. Just being able to change the driver settings with the touch of a dial and having full control is what every enthusiast could ask for, really. So even though I may not like the body style, I can still see myself purchasing this car. With that being said, guys, that'll be it for today's episode. I want to thank you guys for watching, and you guys take it easy.